The Bliss Retreat is only a retreat by name. It's actually a portal. A portal for the woman who's built the brands, got the degrees, and climbed the ladder. You've been everything for everybody, and if you look way back, it's been that way since forever. Everybody sees the powerhouse, the wins, and the shine. But behind that glow up, there's a constant ache that they don't see. There's a whisper in your spirit that's saying, I did all this and I still don't feel whole. Because you weren't really chasing the bag. You were chasing the feeling that you thought the bag would bring. But what your soul is craving can't be found in doing more, but in being her. You're ready for a life that feels as good as it looks. One where you lead with spirit and experience a deeper connection to source. If that's you, and you're ready to remember who you really are, then your portal just opened. Welcome to the Bliss Retreat. Hey. It's Thursday night. I'm so glad to be back. Last week, I was in Denver at Shoshana Raven's Living Brave Live. So at the moment that I was supposed to kind of go live with you guys, I was there. It was so amazing. So I can't wait to kind of jump in and talk to y'all kind of about that experience and what's kind of still coming up for me. So if you are catching this live, give me a comment. If you are on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, let me know where you're catching this from. If this is the replay, give me a hashtag replay. I'm just grateful that you guys are here. What I wanted to talk to you about today is something that I'm kind of in the middle of right now. So one of the things that you will know about me, learn about me, is I don't usually consider myself a coach. I like to call myself like a spiritual influencer and mentor, because I'm normally embodying and going through the very things that I'm talking to the folks in my communities about. So you're getting it, literally fresh as a download, like wow, it's happening to me, or I'm navigating it as we speak. So anyway, like I said, last week I was at the Living Brave Live event. Now, this is not an event that I ever planned on attending or thought that I would attend, but I'm really glad that I did, because I'll tell you one of the ways in which it is stretching me and causing me to just kind of challenge all my old shit when it comes up about being able to create something big and on that scale. So if you don't know, I am newly just introduced to Shoshana Raven. One of my mentor friends, her name is Jackie. She told me about this event. And so because last week, as you know, we were supposed to go to Bali and her and I meet, she was ended up coming to the US, to Denver. So that was perfect. I was like, I'm coming, and we met. And it was almost like we've known each other for forever. Have y'all ever had that kind of experience? Like, I've been dealing with Jackie for probably 7-8 years. And I feel like I know her. Like, I mean, we talk all the time. We hang like in these internet streets. We always together. But this was my first time actually hugging her and seeing her. And it felt like, we've known each other for forever. So now that's like my family. That's my sister. That's my family. So I went to the Living Brave Live event, and like I told Jackie, she was like, okay, now this is probably going to be very different than what you used to. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you'll see. And like, they call this event or Shoshana Raven, like the kind of Tony Robbins, like the female Tony Robbins. So I have been to a couple of Tony Robbins events like years ago. So I did get the reference of like the music, high energy, kind of like a pep rally rock concert all in one, right? So I was kind of prepared for that. But what I wasn't prepared for, I think, it was literally, I'm going to say 98% women. And not just women, because I've been to events with majority women, but they're usually always like business events, right? But this was a full event with women, spiritual kind of mindset, manifestation, elevation, light leaders. And that was super, super important. And it was cool. So when I told Jackie, yes, I'm going to go, I literally created one intention in my mind. I am going to go and I'm going to meet, connect with, and talk to everybody, but especially any women of color that I see. And I just want to chat with them and get to know them and figure out, like, on your journey, like, how did you get here? Like, what were you doing before this? Like really just kind of do a beta test of like women of color who are in spiritual, like, manifestation, mindset, light leader spaces. And I did. And so I want to say Shoshana said that she had 1,000 spaces for this live event. It was like this big event center. And I'm going to tell you, and anybody who's in Shoshana's community and like who could give me a better accurate count of this, but as far as the women of color that I actually intentionally went around and hugged and took pictures and connected with, it might have been 20. Then that's just like, I'm stretching it. Like, I know I connected with at least 10, 11, 12. I'm going to say maybe like the day of the main event, we were kind of in the big event center. So I didn't get to meet and mingle with like everybody that I get, because I kind of saw people in passing. But I'm going to say 15 to 20. And I started at each one of the women when we started to connect. I mean, I met Terry and Constant and Lucera. I mean, I met beautiful women who are just light in the world, who are doing amazing things. And the one question that we all were asking each other was like, where are we? Like, what does it take to create this massive scale mindset event that's like spirituality, not just religion? Because of course, if you go to like church, it'll be packed with women of color, but like an event that's like kind of spirituality, mindset, light leadership kind of vibe. And so we all talked and we connected, and it just got me to thinking about like doing things on that scale for women who are not normally, the women who these things are created for. And so the Bliss retreat is coming up. It'll be in Napa, October 16th through the 20th. And it is literally everything about it has been about just normalizing luxury, like melanated luxury, for peace, for, I deserve this and I deserve to be here. And this was created for me. And this feels normal and natural to have this kind of experience in a mansion, in the mountains, in a winery, in a vineyard. Like, every part of this has been curated with this luxury feeling in mind. But what started coming up while planning this is what I have kind of named like spiritual imposter syndrome. So many of you probably have heard imposter syndrome, so you know what that means. But spiritual imposter syndrome can show up, and it gives you all the spiritual reasons why something that you have prayed for, meditated for, visualized, journaled, has shown up. And now you have the ability to execute this thing, to have this thing, and everything in your goddamn nervous system start going crazy. And you don't know why, because of course, this is your first time experiencing this. And so what I had to be mindful of, and I want to say what the Living Brave Live event has me going back to that and listening and replaying like things that I heard all the speakers say, is of course it's not going to feel normal when you've never done it before. But if the thing that you have prayed for, journaled for, affirmed, wrote on your vision board, all the things, is now right in front of you, it's now facing you, and you have the ability to, bring that thing into like your actual 3D lived experience, it's not unusual for you to try to start sabotaging it. Because everything in your body is saying, this shit don't feel right. This feels uncomfortable. What if, all the what ifs. And the crazy part is the what ifs always lead you to the worst thing that you believe could potentially or possibly happen, which usually don't even happen. But in your mind, you're going down the rabbit hole of how bad this can be, and then what people will say and all the things. And so I started listening to, for this last week, my internal dialogue, like how I was talking to myself when things were not working out the way that I wanted them to work out, or things on my team were shifting and all the stuff. And I literally started walking around with me a notebook and started writing down what was coming up, and then how I could reframe what I was saying to make it more in alignment with like what I really desire. Because here's what I believe. Regardless of what you say out of your mouth or what you do, I'm a spirit. I'm a little slither of God energy that's in a human body, and I'm living this human experience. But on a spiritual level, the inside internal part of me knows what it loves. It knows what I desire to come and impact the world by, what I want to do, who I want to be. It's in constant communication with big God, like the source. And so things will come and present themselves to me that are in alignment with who I'm saying I want to be. And I'll fuck it up because I ain't comfortable. Because wait a minute, I've never saw this before. It's kind of like one of my girlfriends, me and her were talking this week, and she's back dating or whatever the case may be. And she's like, she met this guy. They've been talking for about 3 or 4 months. I mean, the guy literally is her checklist guy, right? He can hold deep conversations. He opens the door, like pays for dinner, like won't even let her bring her purse, all these things. And the one thing she's breaking this man down about when she's talking to me is his shoes. The man's shoe wasn't tied. And I don't know if she felt like he should just, while they were walking, just stop, tie the shoe. But I guess he took about 5 or 6 steps and he ain't tied the shoe. So then she telling me he didn't tie the shoe. And I said, could this be that the very thing that you've asked for, prayed for, journaled, wrote about is literally right here in human form? And because your, nervous system cannot handle this, because you've never been with anybody who's treated you or made you feel in this way, you worry about his fucking shoestrings not being tied. Like you picking and trying to sabotage it because on some level, you don't feel like you can carry this. You're not used to it. And it does not feel, it doesn't feel comfortable because you've never had it. So I started looking at areas in my life where we do that at, where something comes that we know we would love, that we know we have prayed for and asked for, and we sit and we find every little thing that's wrong with it to try to justify abandoning it. Because on some level, you really just don't feel like you're worthy of it. So what do you do when that dream job has just landed? You just started your business and it's taken off. Yeah, you're nervous because you've never done it before. You don't have the map for the direction that you're going, but it's okay because you're going to be led by what lights you up, that spiritual peace that brings you joy. You're going to wake up and you're going to move towards that. You're going to take inspired action. And yes, it feels nervous because you have never done it. So things that I found myself saying, and I started saying, that's the spiritual saboteur that's coming in, even in the way that I was speaking. So I would say things like, I don't know. Whenever you say, I don't know, you literally open up a portal for all the doubt and the reasons why you can't do something to flood in. So instead of saying, I don't know, I started saying, I don't know yet, but I'm exploring it. That gives you room for growth. That tells your internal mind, your subconscious mind, that I don't know yet, but I'm exploring it. So it keeps the pathway open. I don't know shuts it down, and then it starts to add, I don't know, I'm not educated enough, I'm not smart. It just tags and magnetizes other very limiting thoughts. I also found myself saying, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm planning the Bliss Retreat. I got 8 women so far. It's 21 spots available. This is going to be, I am so nervous. And then I started saying, when I would say I'm nervous, that would create an anxiety feeling. But instead of saying I am nervous, I started saying I am so fucking excited. I'm excited. See, excitement releases like dopamine hits. Like now you get hype. Now I'm creative. Now I'm staying up late. Now I'm looking at I call it my bougie bags instead of swag bags. Like, oh my God. Now I'm going to 3 Chanel stores. Like, cause my bougie bag is gonna be bougie bags. Like, it's gonna be amazing. So then that excites me instead of like shutting me down and having me feeling, like I'm nervous. And then nervousness can sometimes paralyze us and we don't move. Then I would say things like, oh my God, I'm stuck. I'm on a call with my team and I say, I'm stuck. I can't. And they go, well, what would you like us to do? And I'm like, the way that I'm going to reframe that is no longer saying I'm stuck. I'm just saying, you know what? Let me pause and reset. Let me pause and just reset. That tells my mind that, look, I still know the direction that I want to go in, but I'm just going to pause for a second and I'm going to reset and then I'll keep moving. Another one that was coming up for me this week is, oh my God, I am so overwhelmed. How many times do you say that? Look, I have my kids. I got to take my son to football. My daughter's in ballet. I got to, do all the things, my husband, my house. Like, I'm so overwhelmed. That for me creates a victim feeling. Like somebody should be helping me. Like nobody is doing their part. But instead of saying I'm so overwhelmed, I started saying, I'm going to prioritize. Let me prioritize. Now, how do I choose? I start out with, what would I love? What would I love to do today? What would I love to do first and then second and third and however? So that doesn't make my brain feel overwhelmed to the point that when you say I am so overwhelmed, usually the next feeling that's going to come in is aggravation because ain't nobody pulling their weight around here. I'm doing everything. Nobody helps me. Like the victim story starts to kind of spiral. But when you say I'm prioritizing, it puts you in a place of feeling like I'm empowered. I'm choosing what's best and what's next for me. This is hard. How many times have you said that? This is hard. It's the very thing you've asked for, and it shows up, and you say it's hard. When you say something is hard, you believe that you don't have the ability to do it. So you usually won't. It's hard. Like algebra, geometry. Like, well, some people might, like that kind of stuff. But when you used to think about going to math, like my next class, I got trigonometry. Man, that's hard. Like it just feels like people wouldn't just sign up for that, right? So when you say that it's hard, there's something in your mind that says, yeah, well, don't even attempt it. I'm not going to be able to do it. But instead of saying, this is hard, I say, this is stretching me. This is stretching. This is a stretch. Stretching kind of can hurt when you're first doing it, but then it feels good because when you stretch, you get more range. You get more range of motion, the more flexible you become. Another one that I was saying is, I don't have time. Let me tell you something. We have time. But what a more empowering statement is that's not a priority. Instead of telling somebody you don't have time, just tell them that is not a priority. You know what it does when you say what you mean to somebody? It literally empower, like you take a deeper breath, like you breathe from like the diaphragm. Because it's almost like when somebody asks you for some money and you say, I don't have it. Well, you probably do have it. But a more straightforward response would be no. Like, no, full stop. It doesn't have to be explained. It doesn't have to be no because, just no. Because saying I don't have it when you do have it, even if you don't have it to give to them, is very limiting in like what you're, kind of speaking like on your own finances. So you get to say, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. And that's the end of it. Instead of saying, I'll try, my team knows I say now, I will commit to doing that. If I say I'm going to commit to doing it, my brain rearranges space and puts it on my to-do list. And even if once I get the kids down to bed and, dinner done and relax and hubby chilling, I'm going to stay up because I've committed to doing it and I'm going to get it done. So let's start literally thinking about and actually being aware of the words that we speak. Because I mean, words are very important. I know we think that they are not, and we just kind of loosely say certain stuff. Girl, I'm so stupid. Like you're literally speaking like I'm so stupid. Girl, I'm so exhausted. Instead of me saying I'm so exhausted, I'm so tired. You know what I say? Oh my God, I lived a full day today. I lived a full day today. That means I may have depleted my energy. I may have gotten things done. I started at 7. I went to bed at midnight and I lay in the bed instead of saying, oh my God, I'm so tired. I say, oh my God, I lived a full day today. I lived a full day. Listen, I gave them 18 hours a day, everything I had. It's just a more empowering way to speak. And when you start to control how you speak and the words that come out of your mouth, I'm telling you, it will change you on like a level internally so that you will feel one, empowered, and two, it'll take away a lot of that, I call it victim conversation. And when we do this, when that imposter syndrome shows up and says, you don't know how to do this. How many of y'all agree? Yeah, you're right. I don't know how to do it. I've never done this before. Instead of saying, I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to be a student of this. Nobody knows how to do anything until they do it. And then they do it. And then they do it. Then they get better at it. But nobody just is born knowing how to do all the stuff. So instead of saying when this opportunity, shows up at your door, when this person, when this place, when this thing shows up, instead of convincing yourself that you are not ready or you are not prepared or you don't have the education or you've never started a business before or there's nobody in your family who's ever been a business owner, what other ways can you reshape how you speak? In what other ways can you reshape, the words that are literally coming out of your mouth? I remember in my community telling some of the folk, I call them my tribe and the Savage Sweets, if your words were seeds and every time you spoke, it planted a garden, like what would be growing like in your garden? Like weeds or like greens or tomatoes or shrubs. I mean, like if the things that you are speaking is not creating a harvest that you want to go out there and pick and keep growing more of, then we really have to start thinking about how we speak. I know right now, if you're in the US or anywhere for that matter, but the world feels heavy. A lot of things are going on. People have lots of opinions about it, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. We get to have an opinion, and it does not have to be the same opinion that you have. But you also are in control of how you feel. You get to decide how you feel about what's going on. You get to decide, if you label it good or bad, right or wrong, or if it just is. You don't have to pick sides and fall out with people if they differ from like how you think. Or you can say, anybody who feels this way, I'm cutting them off and I'm never speaking to them again. But make sure that the choices that you choose to make in the way that you want to feel or respond make you feel empowered. If you make these decisions and you lay down and you depressed all night, I mean, like, are you really winning? Like, is that the goal you were going after? To cut everybody off out of your life who don't, think like you think or speak how you speak about certain things, and now you laying at home alone, sad. But if that's what you like, you get to do that. Like, there's nobody to say, you right, you wrong, or you're indifferent about it. But look at the life that you've said, I would love to lead, the way that you would love to feel, and just make sure the things that you are choosing is in alignment with how you've said you want to feel. There is nothing going on in this world that can make you feel a certain way. You have to give it permission. You have to give it some stuff you can just look at and keep moving. You can have no response to it at all. Other things you can look at and it can knock the spirit out of you, and you can be laid out, stretched out, sobbing for days. But either way, you're choosing however you want to respond. So take power in that regardless of what is happening, you get to decide how you want to feel. Nobody can make you feel a certain way. And if you're saying things like, they made me mad, how? How do anybody have the power and authority to make you anything? You have to, on some level, give them permission. So another thing that I was saying, I remember saying, and I reframe was, this always happened to me, but in a victim way. Okay, I left. Okay, in my car, like my antique car, my husband had to go get the speakers fixed or whatever in it. But when you turn it, you got to turn it a certain way and pull the key out. But if I go all the way, it kind of leave some kind of interior electric on or whatever, which kills the battery. Now, this is the third time I've done it because I don't remember, like I got to stop at the first click and not the second click, whatever. I forget. It's not the car I drive every day. But then I did that a couple days ago and I said, damn, I always do this. And instantly I quickened myself and said, instead of saying, this always happens to me, I say, what can I learn from it this time? Okay, what can I learn from it this time? And it literally is just slow down, take a moment, and just check. Make sure I didn't turn the thing all the way down. Or the problem is I pulled all the way in the driveway, and luckily the battery is in like the trunk, so my husband can just put them little clips on it and jump it. But it's always like an inconvenience, right? So what I learn is when I don't take the time to double check things, I got to inconvenience other people. You know what I mean? By, hey, babe, the car won't crank. The thing is, it won't start. I need you to come and jump it or whatever the case may be. So anyway, this really is about, I'm just checking. I got a couple of messages. This really is about reframing how we speak in order to embody that version of us who asked for the very things that we have gotten dropped in our lap and we prayed for. Because if you don't, you will sabotage it. You will fuck it up. You ain't gonna be able to help yourself because on some level you scared. You scared of it working out. You scared of it being, the best thing that could have ever happened to you. So instead of embodying like the woman that asked for this, the woman who deserves this, who's worthy of this, I'm looking at the wallpaper in the new office they just gave me. Ugh, I don't like this wallpaper. Why would they have this wallpaper? Oh, this. I mean, just constantly complaining about the very things. And when you do that, you're basically repelling it. You're saying, I don't want it. I can't handle it. I don't have the capacity for it. But what's really under that is, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. What if I don't know how to do certain things? But when you reframe that conversation, everything that you need is already in you. There's nothing that you have to do. There's nothing that you have to, there's nothing that you have to do outside of just walking into the knowing that I'm prepared and I'm ready. And whatever I don't know, they're going to teach me. I'll learn. I have the ability to learn, and it's going to be all right. Just reaffirming that inside yourself every single day, because it's a battle in your mind at that point. It's literally a battle of which side of your brain you going to listen to. The side that's always been. So I look at it like this. Now, this is a real kind of crazy but transparent story. Y'all know I always tell y'all all the crazy shit. So it was a time when I first started flying first class. I would only fly first class if the flight was over 3 hours. So in my mind, to normalize like spending the money, even though I had the money, it was not even about the money. It was really about like a worthiness to feel like I should spend the money on that. I would say I'm gonna spend the money on first class if the flight is over 3 hours. So then I would do that. And then I would say, okay, I'm gonna spend the money on first class, even if it's not 3 hours, but if the price difference is, let's just say a couple $100, then I would do it. And then it got to be where like, okay, it became normal. But before it did, I remember the first time they upgraded my ticket to first class. And I'm sitting up there, y'all, feeling like I am not supposed to be there. Just feeling all wrong, like feeling like, what am I doing here? they're gonna like realize I ain't supposed to be here, had my ticket in my hand just in case they wanted to check the ticket. Like this was all going on in my mind. Like just to fly first class, which, you know, now almost is ghetto because the seats don't all, you know, you think it's the best thing. And now I'm like, okay, it got to be something better. But anyway, you have to start having those internal conversations with yourself, because when those opportunities present themselves and you get into the first class seat, you still sitting there feeling like you stole something or shit, like you ain't supposed to be up there. And I know many people have had this experience. I remember one of my girlfriends was like, the first time she flew first class, she didn't know the drinks was free. I don't drink. I don't really drink. So that really wasn't on my mind. But she was like, the people coming by giving people drinks, and she wanted a drink, but she didn't know how much they cost. So she didn't really want to get a drink and it'd be $80. So she wasn't sure. So she was like, I just sat there and sat there. And the guy who was sitting next to her, he's like, did you want a drink? I'll grab it for you. Like just being nice. She's like, yeah, just whatever you have it, right? And they brought it. And then she goes, how much I owe you? And he goes, oh, no, it's free. And she said, I felt so crazy. I felt so crazy, like not knowing that the drinks were free. But how would she have known? She'd never been there before. It is okay when you don't know certain things because you're just elevating to that level. You've just manifested into that like level, right? But what's not okay is when it's something that you totally desire, when it's something that you want and you've asked for and you prayed for and you journaled for, and you allow your not feeling worthy to be there to sabotage you back to coach. That's what's not. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's my munchkin calling me. But that's what's not okay, is for you to sabotage it in a way that sends you back to where you ultimately don't want to be. So where are you doing that in your life? Have you started a business? Does the business feel like it's going slow? Are you feeling like, shit, I need to go get a job or quit the business? Have you tried embodying the woman who has the business and it's successful? What do I mean by embodying it? Being her. How does she talk? How does she move? When negative thoughts come in, like, what does she do? Like, you got to create the blueprint for the being, for the woman that you desire to be, who's holding the shit that you're saying that you want. Because it's okay that the woman that's right now, who's you know, becoming her and doing the like don't know yet. But you're going to step into it. It's impossible for that thing not to come, for you not to manifest it and actually be living in it. But then what are you going to do? So here's another one that I was saying this week. Oh, I had somebody on my team say, boss lady, I think that's impossible. Is anything impossible? I mean, every single thing that you enjoy right now, from being able to see me on a computer screen that's streaming through some Wi-Fi, some whatever, we can't even see it, to me flying on an airplane, was once probably looked at as an impossibility. So when I find myself thinking that something could be potentially impossible, the way I changed the words, I said, it just hasn't been done by me yet. Everything you experiencing, you touching, tasting, from a cup to a spoon to somebody envisioned it. Somebody saw it, and then somebody made it. Somebody created it or developed it. So maybe it hasn't been done yet, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Those are two very different meanings. I really don't think there's anything that's impossible, because I guess if you can kind of think it, that must mean on some level it can be done. I remember 20 years ago when I was doing my website for a business back then, I wanted my logo to move. Like when you go on the www. I wanted the logo to like be animated. Now this was 20 years ago. I just imagine I had my logo was like a triangle and it had like a globe on the tip of the triangle. And I wanted the globe to move like the world. I wanted to rotate. And I remember the girl who was doing my website, she was like, I don't think that can't, like, you want it to, the triangle to stay the same, but the globe to be moving. Yeah. I wanted to not be a flat image. I wanted to move. And she was like, I don't think that we can do that. Because I guess the technology 20 years ago was not out so that you could make, or maybe she just didn't know how to do it. But I'm thinking, where would that come from in my mind? Why would I see it being able to move if it wasn't going to be able to be done? And now people logos are animated, they, AI, all the stuff, like, but 20 years ago, she was like, oh no, I don't think that that's going to be able to be done. So just think that sometimes you are just ahead of your time. Your ideas are so bold and so vast that time hasn't caught up. You're on another timeline. Like, but if you can think about it and you see it in your mind, there's going to be somebody who can help to make that vision like an actual reality. So I don't ever say that it's impossible anymore. Now I say it just hasn't been done by me yet. It just hasn't been done by me yet, but it's very, very much possible. Here's another one. Ooh, I used to say this one all the time. I wish. I wish. I wish I had this, or I wish this, or I wish that. Instead of saying I wish, now I say, what did I reframe it? I just say I will. I will. I wish feels like something that has to be magical. Like you got to rub the magic genie for it to appear. When you wish, it feels like 1 in a billion, almost like hitting the lottery. It feels far out. But when you reframe something and just say, I will, you're basically saying, look, I will. Like it is mine. I will be it. I will do it. I will have it. And so coming back from Living Brave Live, I'm watching Shoshana create 1,000 women. Well, it was more than women, but mostly women. 1,000-person event live with speakers and people who flew from all over the world. They were coming from Europe, from India, France, Belgium. I mean, I met somebody from Switzerland, like all over the world, to hang out for 2 or 3 days at the Living Brave Live event. And here I am creating my bliss retreat. And I'm like, okay, spirit, okay, sugar, 21 women. I want this to be intimate and connected and like all the things. And then feel overwhelmed, like, oh my God, 21 women. And I see Shoshana saying, 1,000? How about we do a stadium next time? And I'm like, what the? How about we do like a stadium where like football players play at, like a whole stadium? Then I started thinking about when I went to the Beyonce concert. So I went to her last Cowboy Carter concert in Vegas and took somebody from our online community. We had a blast. And I literally saw myself doing retreats or conferences, and it's almost like a concert. I saw, like, I'm out there, like we having like these sessions, and then in between, like Beyonce come out and she perform, and then we have some spoken word. Like I literally like sitting there waiting on Beyonce to come out. I was in the front, right at the stage, and I just had my eyes closed, and she had this beautiful kind of music playing, and my mind was just gone. And I'm looking around at all these people, and I was like, yes, that like a spiritual mindset, light leader concert that holds thousands of people who have all come because they want to kind of connect and impart light on humanity. Like I literally was in the moment, to the point that I had to open my eyes and be like, whoa, like I'm actually still here in Vegas at a concert. I was that gone. This is how real we have to make the visions and the desires that we have in our heart. They're not just fleeting thoughts or things you put on a vision board or things you write in your journal and it's on paper. Like I go to a place where I feel it. It lights me up. I feel so happy. And guess what? Then I surrender to it. See, this is the part. not surrender. Like, I don't do shit. I just, I love that. And that's, I mean, you could do it like that. Nobody's saying that cannot bring you the desires that you want. But I'm talking about surrendering, knowing that, look, I'm a piece of a bigger piece. And that bigger piece is got this shit on lock. Like, it's already done. And what I'm going to do every day is just get up and move towards my joy. And you know, as like, I remember, what's her name? I think Auntie Tab say, hey, have the best day. And if I can't have the best day, don't go messing up nobody else's day. I wake up and I just try to move towards what lights me up. Now, I know that sounds crazy because a lot of people, alarm clock go off. And the first thing you do is, oh, damn, hate it. You hate it. You get up every day and do something that you fucking hate because you've convinced yourself that you have to. You've never even played with the idea of, what would I love? What would I love to do if it ain't this that I'm actually doing? Because that don't even feel like a reality for a lot of people. This is why people wake up and they already on a 9 out of 10 with anger, frustration. I saw some little meme thing on social media earlier, and the lady was talking about, this is why you don't have road rage or something like that at 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning. She showed a clip of 2 people in the car arguing or whatever they were doing. And at 7 in the morning, somebody got out, the other one stopped, and it ended up being, I just scrolled by because I wasn't sure if it was going to be some pew pew or whatever. And I don't be wanting to see all that kind of stuff, right? So, but you know what hit me more than anything? How are you that mad at 7 in the goddamn morning? Literally, you just woke up, or maybe you just got off work. I don't know, but it's 7 in the morning. What can have you that hyped up and that much anger already that you're going to get out the car and do whatever they did? Because you went to sleep like that. You woke up like that. Because you already don't like the existence that you existing in usually. And the sadder part is, I don't feel like it's anything I can do to change it. And that's kind of what causes people to be real fucked up. Like, imagine not liking something, but then imagine feeling like you powerless to change the shit you don't like. That would have somebody dialed up to 9 out of 10, ready to snap, crackle, and pop on your ass at 7 o'clock in the morning. But you do have a choice. There is always a choice. And so when I'm thinking about and envisioning all of these things, I just say, you know, what lights me up? What makes me feel like I'm contributing to the world? And when I say the world, my kids, my family, like my little oasis. How am I able to show up as the best version of myself for these people that I love and that depend on me every single day? And it's usually by picking something and doing something that makes me feel my grandest. What is that for you? Have you ever thought about it? Or do you just kind of do what everybody say? You know, you just kind of stay on the path that's wide and everybody on it. Because that little narrow path, it look a little bit hard, or maybe the hill look a little steep. You do get to decide. Like, this ain't like a rehearsal. This life is not a rehearsal. It's the one that you live in. So don't you get to make it be kind of what lights you up is your life? Are you doing the things that everybody told you you should be doing? Or are you following what the mass, consensus is of what your life should look and feel like? So I created the Bliss Retreat because I want 21 women to come sit in fellowship. And it's going to be where spiritual awareness meets business, practicality. We are high achieving, high powered, women who get up every day and we make decisions that change the world, like we do, even if it's our world. But we never actually exhale and lay it down. But I want to sit, like women are saying, like, okay, Nekeya, you started a business when you were 25. You scaled it to $50 million before you were 40. Like, we want some of that. And I get that, yeah. But then what they don't say is from 40 to I'll be 48. Like, in a third of that time, I've already done 20 million. Like, moving towards what lights me up. And now I'll never go back to hustle and grind because somebody showed me a different way. And it's a beautiful way because it's the way that my spirit already knows. It's the way that it already came here to make that impact. So now women are saying, especially women of color, sis, I'm tired. I've done it that way. I've grinded, I've hustled, I've been booked and busy. Now I want peace in a world that feels chaotic. I want joy when everybody around me is going crazy. I want calmness when everybody losing their shit because I am connected and tied to something that's bigger. And that's the feeling that I'm seeking. And so this is what we do over here in the Savage Spiritualists, the Savage Suites in our world. We sharpen each other. Like we build the businesses. We bring in the money. We millionaires on our way to billions collectively. But we are also happy. We have joy. We realize that our health is going to be the new currency. Like, we take care of ourselves and we love on each other. Like, that's what's important. And so, yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having the time of my life. And I am. And so I want to connect with you. I want to collab with you, especially women who are, wanting to, like, kind of, you're starting something and you feel exactly what I'm saying. Like, how do I get over that next hill? Nekeya, what did you do? Like, how did you do? But more importantly, who did you be? Who did you become in order to be able to hold the capacity of your own dreams? Because if you can't hold it, you can't hold it, period. So I got a couple more that I wrote, my reframes, because look, I'm going to actually download my reframes. I think I got about 25 I wrote on here. I'm going to download them. And you can just as a matter of fact, hashtag, what can I call this? Hashtag reframe. And I will send you the PDF so you can kind of download these. One of the ones that I say is, oh, this was a good one. I'm waiting on God. You do know that when you say things like, I'm waiting on God, what you're actually usually saying is, I don't feel like I can do this, and I'm procrastinating on it because I'm unsure. Because the truth be told, God operates within you. So if it's something that you desire, you ain't got to wait on God. Like, you literally have to just get up and move towards it. And everything that you need is going to present itself. The right people, the right place, the right timing, the right funding. It will. It always does. I'm telling you, hindsight, looking back, there is never a time where what I needed, who I needed, did not show up when I needed it. As long as I was moving towards the thing that I said that I wanted. But just sitting here telling me I'm waiting on a sign, I'm waiting on God, whatever you waiting on, that's usually just, another way of saying I'm scared, I'm procrastinating, I don't really think I can do it. Here's another one. Don't say, I don't know if now is the right time. You know what I say? Now is the only time. The audacity of us to even think we gonna wake up tomorrow. Like, literally, like, doesn't that take audacity? You literally sitting here in the now. You have an opportunity that just presented itself to you right now. And you're going to say, I'm gonna wait until later, as if later is gonna be there. Now is all we have. Right now is really all we have. So anything you planning for later, anything you talking about, I'm gonna do it next year. Like, it takes audacity to push back into a future time that you don't even know if you're gonna be in, something that you have a desire for right now, because now is all we have. The women who are in my community, we know right now. We move right now. We respond to the things that light us up right now. We're not waiting until next week, tomorrow. I got to act. No, because we understand that now is all we have. And if I make decisions in my right now, in faith, you know what? I'm doing it. Oh my God. I ain't saying you ain't got to be scared. I'm not saying that, you know, hold on a second. I'm not saying that, you know, while you're doing it, I'm not saying that while you're doing it, you ain't gonna shake. You ain't gonna have a lot of anxiety. But what I am going to say is you have made a decision. I'm going to do it. It is a power in that energy. It is a power in the energy of a woman who say, I'm doing it. Listen, I don't know how, I don't know what, but I know everything in me is saying, I got to do this. And she acts. Because really all we have is this current moment. And what's the worst that can fucking happen? If you pick up and move to that city, because you know you want to just, you want to go. I don't know nobody over there. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm out. I know I need to go. I met a girl at the Living Brave Live event, and she had just picked up and left and moved to another country. Didn't know a soul. Found a community on Instagram of people who know, they call them like nomads. They just up and move to another place. And she is like, my health is better. I'm feeling like, she said, I knew I had to go. I can't explain to you how I knew, but I knew. Where in your life do you just fucking know you need to leave that job? You know you need to get out of that job. Not because it's a bad job, because you know it's time. The time has been over while you're there. You know that relationship, it's time to just say, hey, let's just be cool. It's okay. You know that friendship you've outgrown. It is okay. Reframe what you think these things mean. To change jobs or move to another city or leave a relationship or your friendships change. It don't mean you hate the people or it ain't got to mean nothing negative. It just means that this is a part of my elevation and I'm choosing me in this moment right now. We have to start doing that. I always tell my women, do this for you, because we know we'll do it for everybody else. If I told you, if you do this, this would happen for your child or for your spouse or for your sister or for your brother, you would commit and you would do it. But if I said, if you do this for you, you could sacrifice, because you've been taught that you are a sacrifice, that you can sacrifice your wants, your dreams, your desires, the things that light you up for the sake of making sure somebody else is smiling or somebody else is happy. And then what does that create in you later? When you say, well, I'm a mom, so now I got to be a mom, and that means I can't do whatever. Then my kid grows up and moves out and goes on, and then you saying, you know how much I sacrificed when they were little? I didn't even start that bakery I always wanted to start because I had the kids, and now they don't even send me a Mother's Day card. Now you mad. But who told you that you had to do that? You decided that meant that. And so that's what you did. But now if you needed permission to choose yourself, I get it, ladies. We have been taught that being selfish or choosing something that I would love first is bad. You're supposed to be selfless. You're supposed to give of yourself till there's nothing left. And then when you die, you're going to get some kind of robe or some shit or a crown or whatever. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But what happens if you say, no, I want to do this. I'm going to do this for me first. I guarantee you, everybody else that is attached to you become better people, because there is nothing more important than the woman who plays the leading role in most of these people's lives to be happy and fulfilled. You trickle down that energy. Everybody becomes better. You know how people say happy wife, happy life? Yeah, to some extent, because when you are happily doing the things that light you up, you taking care of everything. Like yes, because I'm full, my cup's running over. But when you depleted and burn out and exhausted because you're wearing this mom badge and you feel like wife badge and you feel like you have to do that every day, you got to be dead tired, wore out because you've taken care of all of everybody else at the expense of yourself. Like you got to reframe that belief that is what is expected of you and that's what you're supposed to do. Because I'm telling you, my family is the happiest right now because I am the happiest. My daughter is like, Mommy, ballet, I'm excelling at. My son is killing it at football. Like my husband is doing it. Like everybody is doing their thing because I've decided that, look, I ain't carrying all this shit. Like, listen, I'm going to start with what lights me up, what gives me joy. And a lot of times that includes doing things that got to do with my family. But I'm not doing it from a place of, I got to do that. Like, that's my role. I'm doing it because I want to do that. Yeah, I'm taking my son to football practice. I'm going to film some content of it. Like, I want to do that. That's what I chose. I'm going to do that. So we get to choose because anything less would be, not having a choice would almost feel like slavery. And that's not the feeling that we're going for. We're not going for that. So where in your life are you not choosing you? And then what belief are you holding that's telling you that's how I got to be? I'm a mom now, so I'm supposed to do this. I'm a wife now. Like, who told you that? Like, what did I miss that book? Was it like a book of rules and I skipped that part? Because baby, who told you that? Who said that's how it was supposed to be? Well, that's how my grandma did it. That's how my mom did. Okay, well, but you get to do it differently if this is no longer working for you. If it's still in your joy and if you're not happy, you get to do it differently. So give yourself the power to do it differently. I think I got one more, and then I'm gonna get ready to tighten up. Let me see. I think so. Let me see. Oh, I think I said all these. This is hard. Don't say. Oh, why me? One of the ones that I've stopped saying is why me? One of the speakers at Live and Brave Live said, why not me? Why not me? That was a different reframe. Why not me? Why not me? And then the last one I started saying is, at the end of everything that I pray for, journal, write, affirm, visualize, I always say, my acronym for God is SUGA, and that's SUGA. That stands for Spirit, Universe, God, Ancestors, whatever you call it, whatever you believe is, holds the stars in the sky, or whatever you believe you are a slither of, insert here. After each one of my prayers, each one of my journal entries, I say, SUGA, this or something better. That puts me in surrender mode. That puts me in, you know what, SUGA, you see the day, you see tomorrow, you see all of it in one swoop. And although this is what I feel is the best possible outcome, this or something better, if you see fit. So anyway, I am Nekeya, the Savage Spiritualist. I'm your spiritual influencer and mentor. I'm getting ready to host my Bliss Retreat in Napa, California, October 16th through the 20th. Like I said, it's for 21 women. I think we have 12 spots, maybe 10 spots left. I'm not sure. It was 8 earlier today. My team texted me and said we had 2 more people sign up today. But I would love to see you, meet you, and hang with you in person. Hashtag reframe. Let me know if this is a replay or if you are live and where you are from, because I do have one or 2 spots that one of my corporate sponsors has basically paid for. And I was going to announce this tomorrow, but since we own this live tonight, I'm going to hold this spot as like a scholarship for 2 people who are going to manifest themselves at the retreat. Maybe they don't know how they're going to get there. They don't know what. Maybe I don't care. But they're going to hold the energy that I'm going to be at the Bliss Retreat 2025, no matter what. And then we're going to pick out some kind of like raffle thing my team will come up with that we're going to do to bless somebody with those 2 spots. So I love y'all. I thank y'all so much for y'all time. Come on, come hang with me. I'm cooler in person. Let's hang out. So I'm going to have my team just do the Bliss Retreat commercial, and I will see y'all next week. I love y'all so big. All right. The Bliss Retreat is only a retreat by name. It's actually a portal for the woman who's built the brands, got the degrees, and climbed the ladder. You've been everything for everybody, and if you look way back, it's been that way since forever. Everybody sees the powerhouse, the wins, and the shine, but behind that glow up, there's a constant ache that they don't see. There's a whisper in your spirit that's saying, I did all this and I still don't feel whole. Because you weren't really chasing the bag, you were chasing the feeling that you thought the bag would bring. But what your soul is craving can't be found in doing more, but in being her. You're ready for a life that feels as good as it looks. One where you lead with spirit and experience a deeper connection to source. If that's you, and you're ready to remember who you really are, then your portal just opened. Welcome to the Bliss Retreat.